Okay, everybody, it's June 11th of 2024. It's a Tuesday. Hi there. There's been a little bit of back and forth I've been seeing about the contraceptive bill that failed in Congress because Republicans didn't vote for it. And there's only one reason why. And people are talking about the sterilization clause. And people have looked at it and said the sterilization thing can only be done by actually, let me read it. I have the bill in front of me right now. Let's see. Here we go. Rules of construction. And rule of construction: nothing in this act shall be considered to permit or sanction the conduct of any sterilization procedure without the patient's voluntary and informed consent. Pretty much laid out right there. But I don't see an age limit on this. Now, first of all, people who think that abortion is a form of contraceptive, you should be fucking smacked. Okay? You know, just because, oh, no, we don't need a condom. If I get pregnant, I get an abortion. Gee, great. So there are people that think like that, and it ain't right. But this, now remember, laws are specific, okay? For example, I don't know what the statute is here to make something a felony in New York, but if I remember correctly, if you steal, say, $250, up to $250, I don't know what the actual number is, I'm just using an example, it's a misdemeanor. If you go $250.01, it's a felony. So that's how precise the law is. This law doesn't have an age of consent. Now, it's informed consent and it's voluntary, but there's no age limit on it, which is what I think a lot of people are talking about. Because let's face it, the way this is worded, and for those of us who have common sense, this should never happen, is a 10-year-old can tell their doctor in the presence of their parents, I want gender reaffirming surgery, I want to change from a boy to a girl or vice versa. Which means, basically for a boy, you're cutting off his junk, and now he's sterile. He's a woman, or he's transitioning to be a woman. So from what I'm understanding and what I'm getting from other people on here is that there's no age of consent. Let's face it, a 10-year-old kid who has an appendix that's about to burst can't have surgery without parents' consent. Life-saving surgery cannot be done without parent consent, from what I remember. I've never been in this situation, thank God. But that's what I understand. So to tell, say, 10-year-old Bobby wants to be a girl, to not be able to get consent from a parent for life-altering surgery, not life-threatening, life-altering, at 10 years old, and you're not going to tell me that a 10-year-old has enough knowledge to know what he's doing or to understand fully what the ramifications are of doing this. I don't know if that's the right word, but I guess you know what I'm talking about. Like, does a 10-year-old understand that if you cut off his junk, he can't go back. It's not a fucking Lego. It doesn't snap back on. So that's why I think this failed, because there's really no age limit on it. If you're 18 or older, it's your decision. It's your life if that's what you want to do. But at 10 years old, you don't know what you're doing with your life yet. You barely know whether you like boys or girls. At least in my circles, anyway. I don't know. But I don't know. I think that might be the reason it failed. It might be. You can go in the comments and say what you think about it. If you're disrespectful or you're just a troll bot who thinks, what's the fat guy talking about? You're gone. But those of you with a brain already know that. But to me, that's what it seems like, that there's no age limit on this thing. And that doesn't work for me. Now, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know. But that's what I see. That's the one thing. And the second thing, it's a fucked up way to think, but it could be a workaround for abortion. Though I don't think so. I don't see that as a workaround for some people might see that they could get away with it. I don't know. I don't think so. But that one clause might be the reason why it failed. Because like I've said in previous videos, here in New York City, you have access to contraception. And in middle and high school, unless you're 18, you need a parent's consent to get the condoms or women's birth control. So I remember having to sign a document for my daughter. So let's just, calm down and see, let cooler heads prevail here. Should it be passed? Probably. But with that clause and there's no age attached to it, I think that's why it failed. Again, could be wrong. Don't know. But if you're disrespectful in the comments, you know where you're going. Y'all have a good day. Booyah!